Hi my lovelies, I'm Timid and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. Today's video is a bit of a different one. It's kind of a tutorial inspiration desert build vibe. I don't really know what to call this because it's not a tutorial as such. I'm just going to be going through how I create my builds. Honestly, take what you like from this video. Feel free to pause whenever you like, take screenshots, anything like that. If you see something you like, whether it's the way that I build a roof or the block palette I use, anything like that, that's kind of the point of this video. You can follow it very strictly, whether you build everything exactly the same as how I do, or whether you put it up to interpretation. That's what we're doing today. We are building more houses for my village. I'm just going to be building some small ones. I went resource gathering. These are all the kind of woods that I have. I have loads of jungle leaves, a lot of different coloured things, and a lot of sand. I mean a lot of sand. I'm going to start off with a red themed house because I'd quite like to make it a little bit rainbow, but subtly rainbow, because I'm doing kind of like an alleyway style thing. You'll see how it develops. I don't really know how to explain it, but I didn't really know what blocks I needed, so I got a little bit of everything that I usually get. Now I'm going to start by creating the foundations of this house. I think that's kind of the most important thing when building, is to have a solid start. Otherwise, it could just fall apart, or at least it does with me. And in this floor, I'm going to add in some glazed terracotta. And then I'm going to put in a little just roof space, I guess. I don't really know what the word is. This is why I'm not an architect. I'm going to build up from the foundations with some cut sandstone and then fill the rest in with sandstone, smooth sandstone. I'm not sure what height I want yet, so it's all trial and error. Then I'm gonna add in a little rim at the top, just like that. That's what we've got so far. I'm happy with the height. It's kind of cozy. I like it. That's the vibe that I'm going for. It's just lots but small rather than one big thing. Okay, I'm happy with this. That's the sort of view that we're going to get from the top. And I'm adding in all of the terracotta. It's difficult because of the angles and I'm scared of messing it up, but it's cute so far. I needed to get more, but this is what it looks like finished and I really like it. So I'm just going to finish kind of putting in the roof and adding in some walls. I'm going to leave some gaps for windows. I think I might go for a 2x2. Yeah, like that. And then have it all the way around because I quite like my builds to be somewhat symmetrical, but if that's not your style, fair enough. I'm adding in some glass. I like the stained glass over the regular glass. Putting in some steps to get up. And then this is a kind of style of door that I love using. I don't know why, I just really like it. With the slabs on the top as well. I think it just brings it in together quite nicely with the whole colour palette of my village. Adding slabs on the roof just to add some height, even though it's going to be covered with leaves. It will look awful without the leaves. Just bear with me. I think I might add in another layer in the middle. I love putting leaves on my builds because it's a pop of colour that you don't usually see in a desert environment. And I quite like it. I always use jungle leaves. I feel like they just work quite well especially with the colour palette that we've got, because it's always going to be quite neutral in a desert. You've got to kind of... I don't really know how to word this, but it depends what biome you're in as to what colours to use. I quite like how this has gone. I just put leaves randomly and I like it. Adding in candles because they're cute. I know they're not the best lighting, but whatever. I'm happy with this. I really like it. And then this, I've done exactly the same exterior besides the leaves. I could not do that. And I'm putting kind of my favourite armour in here and the armour that I'm most proud of. I don't really know what to do for the interior of everything. We might come back to that later. But I'm going for this sort of vibe and I like it. I'm going to put on all of my weapons and tools and things like that in here as well, just on display. I like that. I actually really like that. It looks cute. Yeah, I do like it. I'm not sure of this symmetry, but that's fine. We can adjust it later. This house is going to be orange. I love that terracotta so much. I think it's just amazing. It's one of the most underrated blocks. But if it's overused, then it can be quite chaotic. I'm going to add in some cut sandstone for the door. And then just fill in the rest with smooth sandstone. I use a lot of smooth sandstone in my builds in the desert. And I'm using the same door and style again. I want to have kind of pretty much the exact same build on each side and then a walkthrough in the middle. So this is how I get the roof that I'm going for. Is I put a stair, then an upside down stair, and then a block. And I just repeat that until both sides kind of meet in the middle, and then I put in either a block or a slab, or two slabs, just depending on the placement. It's kind of a shape, and I really like it. And then you can continue that for as long as you need. Oh, Wandering Trader. Oh, you have good trades. I'm going to keep you. You're going to live in there until I can find something better. See what I mean? It kind of meets up in the middle, and it's that A shape, and I really like it. And then I match the walls to the height. I'm just going to fill in all of the roof. This is the bit that worries me, because if I stop pressing shift, I am dead. And I take out that block because I put my axe up. And then it should all work quite well. The walls blend into the roof. And again, I'm using stained glass for windows. I quite like that. I like how that looks. It's simple but effective. And I've added in windows here. I like that it's kind of 2 blocks from the floor. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm adding in more orange things. This is where my anvil's going to be. So I think beds just make so much of a difference. It adds that bit of colour. I like it. It's good. Okay, and the other side I've put some brewing stands. I don't know what I think of the arrangement, but we can sort that later. It's just so I know what this room's going to be dedicated to. The candles are really effective though. This is the yellow house, and I'm pillaring up with sandstone, and I died. Love that. Glad I respawned here rather than 5,000 blocks away, which has happened more than once. Kind of a lot more than once. This is the vibe that I'm going for. Kind of that structure. It's very square because of how small it is. I can't really do anything much different. That's the floor that I love it. I love terracotta and I love glazed terracotta. Then I've got this shape going on. I'm gonna add in the walls, and I've put some sandstone on the top of each corners, just elevating it so slightly. And then I'm doing the same door. I just think it works quite well, and it adds some similarity between every house, which I kind of like. And I'm adding buttons because they are incredible. It's so underrated. They just add so much. I like this. I like the way that it's going. I like where it's going. If I add in more yellow, I've got my grindstone. I love the colour of the floor. I think having a good floor just, it brings an entire build together, especially with the colour scheme that I'm going for. So I'm going for much more of a kind of tower vibe with this one. And this was very inspired by seeing in villages. Be proud of me, I can bucket clutch. Oh my goodness, your boy can bucket clutch. Let's do it again. I can do it. Your boy can't bucket clutch. Never mind. Oh well. So I've added in some sandstone, some smooth sandstone, and left gaps where I want windows. I don't know if I'm going to put glass in, but I think the spacing of the windows works for natural light. I'm going to add in the same door again. And some more candles. A stone cutter for some reason. Just fancied it, I guess. I like how tall this building is. It's only 16 blocks, but you can do whatever you like with this. I'm adding in some more glazed terracotta. This is kind of the darker green. I wasn't sure about using this, but then the pattern just sold me. I love it. I need to get more. And then I'm using sandstone, which I don't actually use that much of, surprisingly. I thought I'd use a lot more of it considering moving into the desert, but no, it's not something I use much of. I like how this is going. I filled in with smooth sandstone again, added some stairs and now some windows. I like the 2x2. Kind of works, especially with a build this small. I feel like having chaotic walls is going to be too much, so just having the floor as the pop of colour works, or it does in my personal opinion. So I'm going around just all the way, looping this with stairs, so it gives kind of a hut vibe, I guess, and then putting slabs in the top. I like how that works, but it needs something. I think a pillar, just to give it a little bit more a three-dimensional feel. I like that. That's a lot better now. So this is the cyan build, which I don't really know what to do because I want to do something different. So this is trial and error. That shape there, I'm going to split it so there's 3 different layers, like that. I like that. And then adding some slabs on just gives it something. Gives it more texture. I like the placement of the windows. I'm adding in the details like the door and buttons yet again. So underrated. I'm not sure about the cyan terracotta. I like the colours, I just don't like the pattern as much. But I like the shape of this build. I like where the bed fits in it. I don't know what else to put in it. I will come back to this. But I like that one. I really don't know what the plan is for this. And like I said, foundations are the start of any plan. Okay, I can get on board with that. It's just smooth sandstone box, pretty much, with cut sandstone on the top. And then adding those blocks just gives it a little bit more height. And then I think adding in colour on the inside would work, but I don't know how to do the outside. Buttons seem to work with this. I don't know how I feel about the lanterns on the top. Those will most likely get removed. But I'll sit with it for a bit. It works next to the other buildings. So for this one, I'm going for just regular terracotta, which I haven't used much of. And then I like this kind of L shape. It should fit quite well with the floor. I really like it. I really like that, actually. That's really cute. And then my bed's going to go in the corner. to cover up that half, but I've added it the same door, and then that works with the bed. Putting candles everywhere again, because why not? They're brilliant. I like it. I like the windows as well, the changing heights. I've added in some buttons. I don't know how I feel about this. I was just trying this out just to see if it would work, and I don't know. I'm not convinced. Let me know what you think. I'd be interested to know. So for the purple and pink houses, I'm gonna join them by the roof. So I'm gonna do kind of a fairly... Never mind. I'm gonna join it by the roof so it kind of arches over. I want to do more of a smooth shape rather than kind of anything jagged. Put the pink in there and the purple in here. I like them. And no, I'm not doing magenta. I hate the magenta terracotta block. It's not nice. Although I love these candles. These are the ones that are really pretty when they're lit up. Like that. They're so cute. This is the vibe I'm going for. Stick with me. It should work when I match up the walls and put windows in. It's getting there. It kind of got there. Needs glass. But it's better than it was. Yeah, definitely getting better. I like how the roof matches. Need to put a window in there or something. Yeah, that looks a lot better. It was just uneven. I hope you enjoyed the video or got something from it, whether you figured out what you do like in Minecraft style wise, what you don't like. If you don't like it at all, that's absolutely fine. I will finish the other side at some point. I have not got around to doing that. But let me know what you think, and if you want me to do more builds in other biomes so then I can kind of explore more colour palettes and styles and things like that. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe, but absolutely no pressure if you don't want to. I hope you have a brilliant day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!